all out them pint bottles out granny crib. I poured so much I ain't want to live. Told money then, shit, we in the wind. I was in the hood when I clipped the bin. Since a young nigga, I been ready. Went glass house on every Chevy. In this game, I tried plenty settings. It's all or nothing. How niggas been. Got sucker niggas, keep suckers with them. One of the reasons I ain't fucking with them. Trish Tech and some more than her. Guess she couldn't even afford a winner. I'm open late, don't need a scale, and it's always over. Sneak wishing well, I double down, slick shit to spell. Shawty know I don't kiss and tell. I'm faded, 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 faded. I'm faded, 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 faded. I'm faded, 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 faded. I'm faded, 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 faded.
Oh, okay. What we doing, chat? What we doing this morning, chat? Y'all let me know y'all in here, man. Oh, I done ran the song back, chat. Hold on. That's not what's going on. Y'all know I ain't been here in a couple of days, man. I haven't been here in a couple of days, chat. Y'all give me a sec. Hold on. Is that it?
Welcome to the greatest damn show on YouTube.
There you go. That's what I was looking for. Hold on.
Welcome to the greatest damn show on YouTube.
Oh, man. Double tap the screen, shut alive out. What we doing this morning, chat? Double tap the screen, shut alive out. What we doing this morning, chat? We got Bongino leaving because of the cover-up. We got the Epstein files today, and we got Trump's soft rollout of war. Kales, what it do? Lala, what it do? Jared, what going on? I see you, Mona, man. Look, chat, we got an action-packed episode, but it's no script. I have nothing curated. I just said, you know what? I haven't done a real live in a couple of days. We finna wing this shit, man. I'm gonna keep it real. When it comes to Trump's soft rollout of war, I was just sitting back looking like, man, when they started the mass deportations, it was really all... They flooded the they emptied the Venezuelan prisons. They flooded our borders with these criminals. Then we get it to they shipping the fentanyl over here. It's the fentanyl. Now we get to they stole our damn oil. Man, this was a soft rollout from the beginning, especially when I seen the clip from the guy in 2023 saying that, look, Trump's going to take Venezuela and he's going to let Putin take Ukraine. We're going to get into that as well. Then we got Bongino left and what was it? A day after Bongino leaves, we got this guy who shoots up Brown University. Then they're saying he shot up the MIT professor. A tipster called it in, and they just find this guy with his damn brains inside of a storage unit in New Hampshire. Give me a break, bro. Give me a break, bro. They didn't know what kind of gun it was. They didn't know whether it was a long gun, whether it was a short gun. They didn't have any cameras there. They got a $9 billion endowment. And they just find the guy. The guy just goes, knocks down 10 people, right? Knocks down 10 people. 2 of them doesn't make it. He just hangs out for a while, goes and blows down an MIT professor, then makes his way to New Hampshire, goes inside of a storage unit and offs himself. Oh my God, bro. Oh my God. If this isn't just, I don't know, bro. Let's get into it, chat. Let's get into it. What else did I have to cover? Oh, and they're saying, they're alleging that the shooter they picked up, the Portuguese guy, went to school with the professor he shot. Like, what? Then they're saying that the guy walked in there and shot the shit up. He went to the wrong place. He was supposed to be going to shoot up the exam, but he ended up shooting up a lecture. He was supposed to be shooting up an exam. Now he's shooting up a lecture. Oh, and we got the Epstein files today. We're supposed to get the Epstein files today, man. I mean, chat, what the is going on, man? Bongino leaving. We supposed to get the Epstein files today. The House just let the Clintons, Bill and Hillary, say, hey, you know what? You're supposed to testify today and yesterday, but we'll push that back to January. We'll just push it back to January. You know why? It's really not important. Well, we got a lot going on right now. That's how they're acting about this shit, man. It's just too much going on, bro. It's too much going on, chat. Let's get into this clip on how the hell they found this shooter, bro. It's too much going on.
Valente shot and killed.
Yesterday, earlier Volvo for the Great Nissan Center. SV wanted in connection with a homicide in Brookline on 12/26/25. Vehicle has been located in Salem, New Hampshire.
So that is the 911 call from Massachusetts State Police, telling troopers the car linked to the murder of an MIT professor was found in Salem, New Hampshire. Investigators now say Valente shot and killed that professor in Brookline, Massachusetts. So to give you some perspective, geographically, Brown University is roughly about an hour and a half away from Salem, New Hampshire, where Valente was found dead inside a storage unit. Investigators have removed the car in question from that storage facility, where many officers, including the FBI, are collecting evidence. NBC 10's Leanna Fall continues our Team 10 coverage from Salem, New Hampshire.
Investigators say this storage facility is the final stop in a trail that stretches from Providence through Massachusetts and ultimately ends here in Salem, New Hampshire. According to a newly released affidavit from the Rhode Island Attorney General's office, it was financial records, video surveillance, and tips from the community that ultimately led to a storage unit here where Claudio Valenti's body was ultimately found. Now, investigators say this really all began with a Reddit post. The post referencing a blue-gray Nissan with Florida license.
It's so much wrong with this shit, bro. It's so much wrong with this shit, bro. Fucking Redditors. Reddit, man. It took a Reddit sleuth, right? A Reddit sleuth. A Reddit sleuth. Shout out to the Reddit sleuth, man. Nobody cared about what the fuck he saw on the day it happened. We had to wait to hear from this guy on Reddit, man. Nobody took it serious, but you took the Reddit post serious. You didn't call this guy in to see what he saw or nothing. You just read some shit on Reddit, man. Look for this Nissan and track the Nissan to the storage unit, man, where the guy's just stanky, man. I'm just going to be real, chat. What are the odds this guy goes in, shoots up a damn college, bruh, hangs out for a day or two, shoots a damn professor somewhere else that he used to go to school with, drives to New Hampshire, pulls into a storage unit, and offs himself? I'm not buying it. I'm not buying this shit one bit.
Plates seen on Cook Street near Brown University the day of the shooting. Providence police then received a tip from the same.
Why off himself after that, man? You already went into the college, shot up 10 people, been on the road, went, shot up a damn MIT professor, then you make it all the way to New Hampshire to do it to yourself.
Same Reddit user who told investigators they confronted Valenti over what they described as suspicious behavior around campus that day. Surveillance video later confirmed the suspect was driving a gray Nissan Versa with Florida plates. Police tracked that car to a Boston area rental facility where records confirmed Valenti rented. Surveillance video later confirmed the suspect was driving a gray. Told investigators they confronted Valenti over what they described as suspicious behavior around.
So they confronted this guy. Not only did this guy shoot up the school, get the hell away, shoot up a professor, get the hell away, and make it to New Hampshire and off himself, they confronted him. They confronted him. And hold on, Chad. They confronted this man, and y'all mean to tell me it took 6 days and death by his own damn hand to figure out who the fuck he was? Y'all confronted him. Now I want to know who they had in custody. I want to know who they had in custody and released. Who the hell did y'all have in custody and released, man?
Around campus that day. Surveillance video later confirmed the suspect was driving a gray Nissan Versa with Florida plates. Police tracked that car to a Boston area rental facility where records confirmed Valenti rented the vehicle. Flock cameras tracked the vehicle to a storage facility in Salem where Valenti's body was found inside a unit he owned with multiple firearms.
Within an hour, no more than 2, I think it was under an hour, that person came forward to two prominent police officers over on the east side and said he had information, that he was that person and he had information that could help this case. And I remember last night watching his interview, and he blew this case right open. He blew it open.
Now, what these documents do not answer is why. Why did this happen? Why Brown and why now? It's a question that investigators will be trying to work through as this investigation continues. In Salem, New Hampshire, Leanna Falk, NBC 10 News.
Some bullshit, bro. Some bullshit, bro. All around the Epstein files. Every time it get time for the Epstein files to come out, here comes some excuse my language, here comes some BS. Every time it's time for the Epstein files to come out, here comes some damn BS, bro. Like, what? Shit is crazy. I see why Bongino went the hell home. Took his ass to the crib. Alright, Chad, listen. The MIT nuclear scientist unalived in Boston and the Brown University shooter went to school together in Lisbon, Portugal. So these two people went to school together in Lisbon, Portugal. I don't know if it's been confirmed that they know each other, but what are the odds that they went to school together in a whole nother damn country? This shit is crazy.
Tie all that up, and does that lead why target one person in Massachusetts and then a whole class here in Providence?
Yes, it is true that Mr. Valente.
You said get your story straight. Bongino left to save his marriage and health. Kiss my ass. Yeah, he left to save his marriage and health because all this bullshit going on, man. Kiss my ass. If everything was all good and this was wasn't no flack or no pushback and shit, Bongino would be sucking his damn teeth, kicked up in Tennessee doing what they. Yes, he wants to save his damn health because he sees this bullshit is probably running his damn head around in circles. Yes, he wants to save his marriage because he realizes this is some fucking bullshit. And no, I don't think we're getting the Epstein files today while you're asking, man. I think it's a conglomerate. I think Bongino got the out of there before it all fall down. Radio! And when it all down. That's why Bongino got the hell up out of there, man.
Was a physics student. Also, we know that the MIT, the victim there, was in that discipline as well. I would tell you that there's multiple phases to an investigation. And so now, in a sense that we know the subject is deceased, now that investigation continues to find out all of those answers to your question, sir.
Did you go to school with the professor? Did you go to school with the professor who killed Brown after that?
It is believed that in Lisbon, that those two individuals attended the same university in Portugal.
Y'all hear him. Listen, this is the important part right here.
It is believed that in Lisbon, that those two individuals attended the same university in Portugal.
So the shooter and the professor attended the same university in Portugal. And he just goes to show what this shit is a hit. I don't care what nobody says. It's a hit, man. We seen this dude, man. It's not looking like they was beefing over some, you know what I mean? What are we gonna call it? Fruit. We'll call it fruit because it's the morning show. I don't think they were beefing over no kiwi, chat. I don't think they were. They had to know each other, man. This shit was a hit, man. A hit. A hit. A hit. And then it's so crazy because it's like, the guy shoots up a school, gets away, then he goes and shoots up the damn MIT professor. They say this MIT professor was looking for like free energy and shit. And now, like, it's like, obviously the hit was the professor. They wanted the professor damn up out of here, man. I think the school shooting was probably just, I don't know. I don't know if it was to detract from it, but like, what are the odds that the same guy shoots up Brown University, 10 people, 2 people die, he escapes. No, actually, they made contact with him. They made contact with him on campus because he was being real weird. Shoots up 10 people, gets away like a thief in the night, and it's damn broad daylight. Goes on a couple day hiatus, comes back, smokes the MIT professor, gets away from that. Gets away from smoking the MIT professor too. This dude is like a damn villain. It's like he's like a damn villain. Always gets away. To make it another state away in New Hampshire to blow his shit off. Now we know how this shit goes most of the time. School shootings, people don't make it up out them bad boys. They either take their own life or they're unalived by cop. Now, the MIT professor, how the fuck did he get shot in his home? Now, he was in his home shot. These two people went to school together at a university. How the fuck did he get in his house? Where are those questions at? See, because the professor is dead. The shooter is dead. Now, we know most of the time when murders happen inside the home and there's no signs of forced entry, they probably know the person. So this is another soft launch on these two people knowing each other, because they're not saying there was signs of forced entry, they broke in his crib and just gunned him the fuck down. No, they're saying he was found dead inside of his home. Right? This shit is, I don't know, bro. I don't know, bro. It's one of those. Damn, hold on, Chuck. It's one of those situations where they just flood us with so much information. Hold on, let me find it. Where they flood us with so much information, man, that it just, we don't know what's going on. They just flood us with so much information, they don't know what's going on. Hold on. Let me find the brown suspect guy. Shit is crazy, bro.
Information that led us to today's search.
This shit is crazy, bro. Damn, man.
Including information that led us to...
Then they gonna tout this shit like some damn good police work. Man, this is not damn good police work. I'm just gonna be all the way honest with you, Chad. They're gonna tout this shit like it's just some damn good police work going on. No, the fuck it's not. No, it's not. Let's be honest.
A search of the storage locker in New Hampshire. This is what we learned during this multi-jurisdictional investigation. Neves Valente studied at Brown University in Providence, Rhode Island, on an F1 visa around 2000 to 2021. He eventually obtained legal permanent resident status. Previously, he attended the same academic program as the MIT professor Nuno Loureiro in Portugal between 1995 and 2000. Although Neves Valente appeared to reside in Florida between November 26th and November 30th of this year, he rented a hotel room in Boston. On December 1st, he rented a gray Nissan Sentra with Florida plates from a car rental agency in Boston. That same day, he drove to the vicinity of Brown University, where his car was observed intermittently between December 1st and December 12th. On December 13th, Neves Valente entered an auditorium on Brown University's campus during a study session and began shooting at students, killing Ella Cook.
So what they're saying is this, chat. He walked in on that lecture. He walked in on the lecture, but he was actually trying to go to an exam. They were having exams that day. And so he was trying to shoot up the exam room. That's what was going on. They were having exams. Allegedly, he was trying to shoot up the exam rooms, but he went to where the lectures were being held instead. So it could have been a lot worse is what they're saying, allegedly.
Mohammed Aziz Umarzakov, and injuring 9 others. Between December 13th and December 14th,
thank you, Big Niche.
Neves Valente returned to Massachusetts. On December 15th, he murdered MIT professor Nuno Loureiro at Loureiro's home in Brookline, Massachusetts. At some point while he was in Massachusetts, he switched the plates on the Nissan Sentra to an unregistered plate out of Maine. Immediately following Professor Luriero's murder, Neves Valente drove to a storage facility in Salem, New Hampshire, where he had rented a storage unit in November of this year. Since the December 13th shootings at Brown and the December 15th shooting in Brookline, state, local, and federal law enforcement officials have been working hand in hand around the clock to identify the shooter and prevent him from inflicting further harm. I have said this before and will continue to believe when law enforcement agencies work together, crimes are solved and the public is protected. The information we provided to you tonight would not be possible without the dedicated men and women of law enforcement in multiple districts throughout New England, including the FBI, ATF, HSI, the U.S. Marshal Service, Massachusetts State Police, Rhode Island State Police, Providence Police, Brookline Police, and the Brown University Police. In addition, prosecutors
And Reddit, man. Reddit.
for the Rhode Island Attorney General's Office and the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office, and federal prosecutors from Rhode Island, New Hampshire, and Massachusetts all contributed to this result. I also want to thank Attorney General Pam Bondi for her support in coordinating the federal response.
Tell us anything about his motive and the two sets of victims and how they might be related and how he might be related to them.
That is not information that we can share right now, but as soon as that information becomes available, we will share that with the public.
Are you able to say anything of what led you to link the two crimes, perhaps additionally?
Yes, the question was how were we able to link him to the two crimes? So investigators identified the vehicle that he had rented in Boston and then drove to Rhode Island. And he was seen, the vehicle was seen outside of Brown, and there was security footage that showed a person who resembled him. There was financial investigations that were going on in the background that linked him not only to that car, but also to the hotels that he had rented and the car that he had used to not only drive to Rhode Island, but then back to Boston. And then there was the security footage that captured him within a half mile of the professor's residence in Brookline. And
You said, why was this live stream on the official White House website? Come on now. Come on, man. We could put two and two together. We could put two and two. I don't know why this is streamed on the White House official website, man. Let's just put two and two together.
there is a video footage of him entering an apartment building in the location of the professor's apartment. And then later that evening, he is seen about an hour later entering the storage unit wearing the same clothes that he had been seen wearing right after the murder.
Y'all see, they're not saying anything about forced entry. The guy was killed inside of his apartment. He was in the house when he got killed. Right? Most of the time when these things happen, we'll be like, we seen signs of forced entry, or there were no signs of forced entry. Watch, they're going to glaze over that shit. Nobody's going to ask the question about forced entry or not. Watch. They're just going to skip right over that. But that's key to this, to understanding what happened when he got murdered. Whether it was forced entry or no forced entry, that's going to tell the relationship that these two guys have. Especially that they went to the same school, studied in the same program in a whole nother country.
You have an extensive video canvas as part of this investigation that leaves you no doubt.
This is the evidence we have right now. We are coming to you tonight because the federal complaint was unsealed, and we wanted to provide you with the information and to assure the public that law enforcement collectively believe that we have the person that we identified the person, and that person is dead, and that he was the person responsible not only for the Brown shootings, but for the Brookline shooting.
Was there any interaction between law enforcement and Mother Valente, like where the signs or anything like that?
No, when investigators went into the storage facility tonight to execute the federal search warrant, he was dead.
There this evening.
No.
He entered an hour after what happened in Brookline.
Yes.
Did you know Mother Valente, like any words exchange or anything like that?
No, when investigators went into the storage facility tonight to execute the federal search warrant, he was dead.
He entered there this evening.
No.
He entered an hour after what happened in Brookline.
Yes.
Do you know how long that story? Do you connect that? Like how long?
Our understanding.
Man, I'm gonna keep it real with you, man. I think that they probably already had the guy. They had the damn guy already, man. They said they made contact with him on the damn university. I think they been knowing who shot up the damn school. Went on a hiatus, man. Hiatus. We have the suspect, quote unquote, 17 hours. Come out the next day. Oh, we're gonna release him or whatever, right? Nothing to do with this case, right? Now, they're telling everybody in the area, oh, it's a safe area, no need to shelter, no shelter in place. We're sure that the area is safe, but y'all don't have a suspect, right? Y'all don't have anybody in custody, right? Nobody detained, nobody in custody, but you're so sure that the shelter in place should be lifted and there's no immediate threat to the area, right? Then we get the hit on the MIT professor. Still don't know if it was forced entry, not forced entry or not. Then the guy just goes and offs himself in a storage unit. The real target here was probably the professor. The real narrative here was probably just chaos. So much chaos. Epstein files coming out today. Clinton's not got to testify. Bongino's leaving. MIT shooter. Brown Uni shooter. Shit is bullshit, bro.
Understanding from the financial investigation is that he
What to do, Gerald?
facility at the location in Salem, New Hampshire in November.
Confirm whether or not he used the same weapon in the Brown shooting as he did in the MIT shooting.
Ballistics investigation was ongoing and has not been completed at this time, so we're not going to comment on that.
Give us any sense of when you started to recognize perhaps that he was the same person. I know it was through a video, but when it sort of dawned on investigators that these two cases were related.
It was in the last 24 to 48 hours that my understanding, according to my understanding, is when the link began to be established. And that was mainly, he was using a phone that was obfuscating ability to track it. And he was using financial, not credit cards that were tied to his name. And so he was sophisticated in hiding his tracks.
According to the complaint that's unsealed, it says that Mother Valente,
I just don't believe this shit.
professor, had attended the same academic program together in Portugal from 1995 to 2000. Do you know if they knew each other? Or
My understanding is that they did know each other.
have they been in communication since that last day?
I don't have any information to provide you.
Would you call this targeted?
They know each other, but you don't know if they've been in communication. Was it forced entry in that house or not? That'll answer a lot of shit, man. That'll answer a lot of shit in regards to their relationship. Because I don't give a fuck, man. Somebody showing up at my damn house that I knew in college and haven't seen for all of that time. Listen, I'm not just finna let you in my fucking house at night. you better call, you better text, you better reach out. Now, if that happened, they have established a line of communication, right? Now, if they've got an established line of communication, it's a different situation than somebody just kicking in a door and blowing down a professor that's doing all this free energy or whatever the hell he's doing that I used to go to school with. It's way different if he let him in the crib than him not letting him in the crib. You know what I'm saying?
Investigating the motive in this case and trying to, because like I said, he was very careful in his communications, and we just don't have any information right now to answer that question. But when we get that information, we will share it.
Was there anything else in the storage locker?
The storage locker in which his body was found, my information is that no.
Was that satchel?
And now this guy just has a storage unit full of guns, right? He just has a storage unit full of guns.
In the storage?
Yes.
Blows itself off.
Can you repeat the question? I can't hear you online.
So the question was there anything else in the storage unit aside from the defendant's body? And the answer is he was found in there with his satchel. There was nothing else found in there that I am aware of, but there's still...
Didn't we just hear from somebody else? Didn't we just watch the last clip where they said they found them with guns in there? He was in a storage unit with guns, right? Now this woman's saying he didn't have shit in there but a satchel. Well, we know there's at least one gun in there because he took his own life.
They're still in the process of searching that facility right now.
Killed himself right away?
We don't have any information when he killed himself, but he was dead when investigators found his body.
Could you tell us anything about his life, like at the Special National Matters in Florida? Like what he was doing? Was he working? Was he in the field of physics, which he had studied? Any sort of biographical stuff you can tell us about him?
Because his identity was only become aware to us in the last 24 hours, I can't provide you with any of that information right now, but I'm sure once we have a full understanding of what he has been doing, where he has been, aside from the time when he entered into New England in November, we will provide that information.
Besides the MIT person, do you know any of the victims at Brown University personally?
We have no information.
So they're saying some of the people that were shot in the Brown University, their names were searched over 100 times from, y'all know the country, man, leading up to this. So we seeing a reoccurring theme. These people's names are getting searched up and it's pinging to this certain country. So I was like, dang, why does it keep happening? But that took me to a TPV Sean video, and I remember TPV Sean saying that I believe like 80% of all VPNs are owned by that company. So no matter where somebody's searching in the world, if they're using a VPN, it might ping back to this country because they own most of the VPN servers. So maybe these searches aren't actually coming from said country. Maybe they're coming from wherever. But since said country owns all of these VPN, whatever you call them, they're being routed through there, I guess. I don't know.
That he knew any of the victims or anyone who was at that auditorium on the night that he went in and killed.
Have you been able to find anything about when he did attend Brown, whether there were any issues, if he was there briefly, was he kicked out, you know?
That information hasn't been provided to us yet.
Given what you see on the video of the MIT professor's home, is there any doubt that he was the intended target of the killing?
The information that I know, and again, you know, the investigations are going to continue to be able to provide you with all the answers that you are asking, is that there was no doubt that he was the intended target.
What was inside that satchel?
That is information that is still being...
A Percocet. No, I'm just playing, Chad. I'm just playing.
The investigators are still on the scene right now conducting that investigation, and we haven't received information as to what was in the satchel.
Was there any suicide note?
No information right now.
How about in terms of the charges themselves and
crime of Rhode Island and also the one here. How does that sort of get sorted out? How does he get charged, et cetera?
So there are state crimes, including the murders, and then there are the federal crimes, which is one that we brought tonight. The jurisdictions are working together, and we have been sharing information together and encouraging everyone to share information that could result in solving the crimes that were committed in their jurisdictions. And we will continue to do that if there are any doubts that are left with closing out those investigations. We will continue to share all the information so that we can share with you whatever motivations come to light as to why these heinous crimes were committed.
Are you confident, or I guess maybe that's not the right word, but do you believe that he acted alone, or is there any evidence that anyone else was traveling with him when he came here?
We have no information that he was acting in concert with anyone else right now.
Keith, I'm gonna be honest with you. Yes, he was a coward and he did not want to stand for what he did. But I mean, damn, he shot up a damn school. Before he shot up a school, they seen the guy, said he was acting weird. They talked to him, allegedly. Shoots up a school, leaves, does whatever the hell he wants to do for 48 hours. Goes to the MIT professor, or not longer than 48 hours actually, of like 4 days. Shoots the damn professor and then drives an hour away to unalive himself in a storage unit.
That search is still underway, but we will provide you again with more information as soon as we get it.
Anything more you can tell us about
Yeah, I want to see that footage, man. I want to see that footage from the storage unit, man. We want to see him pull off in that facility and get drug up out of that facility with a white shirt. That's what we want to see, man, because sounds to me like he might have been meeting somebody, man, and they just do it to him, man. Sounds like there was some loose ends getting tied up, man. The school shooting, MIT professor, then the guy drives an hour away to off himself. Why not off himself on the scene? Why not do it? Well, why drive an hour away to the storage unit where there's nothing inside of it, right? She just said it wasn't shit in there. He had his satchel on him. Why drive all the way to New Hampshire to this empty-ass storage unit to off yourself, right? Maybe he was going to get some fucking payment or something, man, and they just tied up some loose ends, man. Cleaned this clock, man. Wipe the table. Clean your tray. It's over with.
You said he hid his own tracks. Can you talk about that a little bit?
So he was using an application on his phone, and there have been a couple of things. The Google phone doesn't allow officers to ping the direct location and get real-time location information about the phone. There was also beliefs that he was using SIM cards that were possibly European SIM cards that are carried through a provider in the United States but does not provide real-time information about tower connections. The vehicle he rented, we have video of him renting the car at Enterprise here in Boston.
She wasn't supposed to say that. She wasn't supposed to say he rented the car at Enterprise. Y'all see her stop like that? Now she done said that the car came from Enterprise, right? Hold on to that piece of information, chat. Somebody gonna break something open with that piece of information.
We haven't figured out now where he got that plate from. It was an unregistered plate in Maine. We have information that that plate was a very old plate that had been taken out of the registration status over a decade ago.
Now, watch me break this shit down, Chad. This is why I'm the best at what the fuck I do over here, man. This is why I'm the best at what the fuck I do over here. The storage unit was across the street from what? From what, Chad? What did they say the storage unit was across the street from? A flea market, right? Now they're saying he flipped plates to some unregistered plates, right? That had been taken out. So that means he probably didn't steal them off a car. He bought those plates from that fucking flea market across the street. Because flea markets sell what? They sell those fucking license plates for like $3, $2. You can get a license plate that's damn near from any state. So if his car was found at a storage unit right across the street from the flea market, go to the fucking flea market and see if they sell those license plates in there. Somebody sold him that damn license plate, and I'm gonna put my bottom dollar on it that he bought that shit across the street at the damn flea market, bro.
Found. Can you just describe what he was surrounded by? Can you just paint the picture as to what was in that unit?
What I can say is he rented one unit. His body was found in a unit that was not occupied, and there was nothing else in there from what I have heard, but this is information that I was getting an hour or two ago from agents who were conducting the searches there. When we get further information, the information will be made public, including in the returns for the search warrant that we obtained this evening.
Living in it effectively since after the Brookline?
See, y'all saying y'all ain't got nothing from his phone. The data doesn't ping. Enterprise doesn't ping. Y'all need to go in that damn flea market and see when he bought them plates. When y'all go in that flea market and see when he bought them plates, that'll give us a timeline at least onto how long he's been planning this shit. Did he buy the license plates months ago? Cause y'all know those flea markets, they done upgraded a little bit, right? The flea markets, a lot of those people that have booths in those flea markets have cameras in those booths because they don't want mother stealing. They don't want stealing. So it's cameras in the booths at the flea markets, man. Wherever he went, man, y'all go to the back of that flea market. It's going to be a dude back there, man. He's going to be selling all kind of old rusted up shit, you know what I'm saying, tool metal, you know what I'm saying. It's always those people in the flea markets that sell metal shit, you know, like old rakes and big wrenches and shit. Then they always have the little motor oil cans and Pennzoil cans, and they got license plates on that damn wall, man. Somebody know what day he bought them damn plates, man. The flea market across the street, y'all need to go holler at them.
I have no information right now as to the unit that he had actually rented. The tactical teams were there to search, and they were obviously concerned that there could be booby traps or other types of security issues. And so when they noticed that that storage unit was still locked from the outside, it was clear that he couldn't be inside. And so they started searching the abandoned or the non-occupied units with the approval of the management, and that is when they found the body right next door.
I know that you haven't had much time. Do you have any?
So how the fuck he get in that one? How the fuck he get in there, Chad? He has a storage unit that he rented. I'm guessing that's the storage unit they're saying had the guns in it. It was locked from the outside, so he wasn't in there. They go to the unit next to him. He's just in there. How the fuck he get in there?
Criminal record that you know of at this point in time?
We are not aware of any criminal record in the United States.
Do you have any information about his life in Florida? What he did?
My understanding, it was South Florida. I know that they know the address, but nothing has been made public about that yet, and I'm assuming that there will be searches.
Profession?
I have no information.
And just to be clear, did he fly up from Florida for this, you think? Did he travel from Florida?
Again, the motive, and we have information of his being in New England throughout 2025. But once we get the information about why he came up here, what drove him to be up here, we will share that with the public.
Any information on how long he had been a lawful resident of the U.S.?
I don't have that information.
Well, I mean, the only two ties that you have are can talk about now is he went to Brown and he went to this graduate school with the professor in Portugal. I mean, those are the only two guys that you can talk about now in terms of their relationship.
That is correct right now.
Yeah, he had to have. But Keith, if he used bolt cutters that he bought from the flea market, why the fuck he ain't just go in his own unit? If his own unit was right next to it, and all they found in his own unit was some guns, why the fuck he ain't just go in his own unit?
They were in school.
Here's a question. Do you know if he was in contact with anybody either before coming to New England or after he got here?
That is not information that we have to share right now.
Just one more.
You know, did he have any contact with anybody else besides, the rental, the hotel, in his travels?
That is information that I don't have to share with you right now.
There's one question.
Yep, go ahead.
Question. Is there, there was been some reports on social media by this saying that a man who was homeless and was sort of living at Brown was the one who sort of saw him and thought he was suspicious and took his plate number and then was urged by other people on Reddit to make sure he reported it. Is that true?
You say you found my strain from the White House website? Damn, man. If they got me on the White House website, we made it, chat. We made it, chat. We made it, chat. We made it, chat. They still won't give me a press pass. They still won't give me a damn press pass. But it's okay. We made it, chat. You said are we gonna acknowledge this? You damn right, man. Send me a screenshot. Screenshot that bad boy to plugsackstories@gmail.com, man.
You say there was a witness, but is it true that he's the one that helped break this or gave a crucial tip? How would you describe that?
We did receive information from a witness who encountered him after the Brown shooting and gave information that was very helpful to the investigation and in identifying Neves Valente.
You're going to get the 50,000?
We'll let you know.
Say that.
The accounts that are on the record right now is what we can comment on.
Why the hell is she
We
smiling?
will provide, again, more information so that the public will have confidence in our investigations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, chat. We finna move on, man. Let's see what's going on right here.
New photos from House Democrats that put Jeffrey Epstein.
All right, chat. We finna move on, man. I didn't get to watch. They said the Hakeem Jeffries and Mike Johnson and them, they was all speaking together the other day. Was that yesterday? I didn't get to watch that shit. Also, I seen Candace had some dude on her show talking about he seen Erica Kirk at some military function or something right before then, man. This shit getting crazy, chat. All right, but we got the Epstein files supposed to be coming today. I'm here to tell y'all that I don't think we're about to get shit that's worth a damn. The Clintons, they pushed the Clintons testimony back to January. But yeah, I don't think we getting shit, man. Happy Epstein Day. Bongino went home.
From House Democrats that put Jeffrey Epstein back in the spotlight on the eve of the deadline Congress set for the Justice Department to release all the Epstein files. We just got 5 more pictures from the Epstein estate, courtesy of Democrats who are eager to keep this story in the headlines. The photos were provided without context. CNN's MJ Lee is here. MJ, can you tell us what these images show?
Yeah, Dana, first of all, I'm really glad that you said that these photographs have been released without any kind of context. We shouldn't be reading into them. What we can do is simply describe what we are seeing here, and certainly we can talk about the political context that is behind all of this as well. The photos, as you said, were just now released by Democrats on the House Oversight Committee. They were obtained from the Epstein estate, and committee Democrats also are saying that they were received without the context. So it's not as though they are holding back context. that they otherwise have from the estate. So here are the 5 new photographs. First we have, if you see up there on the screen, a woman's foot with a quote from Lolita. This is a novel about a man's sexual obsession with a 12-year-old girl. You see in the background there the actual book itself. And then we have a photo that appears to be a series of text messages sent by somebody, and again, we don't know who, discussing, quote, sending girls. Let me just read some of these texts. I don't know, try to send someone else. One text says, I have a friend, Scout. She sent me some girls today, but she asks $1,000 per girl. I will send you girls now. Maybe someone will be good for Jay. Don't know who Jay is. Redacted information, I think we are seeing as well, about this girl, presumably, including age and height measurements. The next photo
Say 18.
what appears to be a Ukrainian woman's passport. No context there, of course, about who this person might be. And then we have 2 photos. One of philosopher Noam Chomsky on a plane with Epstein, and then Bill Gates posing for a photograph with a woman, but the woman's face has been redacted by the House Democrats. They've been doing this to, they say, to make sure that they are protecting the identities of potential Epstein victims. And I should just be careful to note that Gates has previously said that he regrets meeting with Epstein, whereas
The previous Epstein victims, and y'all got us standing by Mr. Lab Meat himself, Mr. Digital ID Patch himself.
Chomsky has previously declined CNN's request for comment. So, Dana, there's a thing here that explicitly seems to sort of depict any kind of sexual misconduct, but again, without any kind of proper context, we have no idea what these text messages are supposed to suggest, what the significance of these images might be. But as you say, you know, this has been sort of a pattern that we have seen from House Democrats, sort of a slow-rolling release of small batches at times of information that they have gotten from the Epstein estate. And Republicans on the committee have certainly accused Democrats of cherry-picking certain information to release a little bit at a time for political reasons. And I do think it is an important question to sort of ask what the service might be that Democrats think they are serving by doing this in this manner when they could be releasing perhaps everything at the same time, or maybe waiting until we do have the context so we can understand what exactly we are seeing here.
Well, we're talking about it, so that gives the answer to your question. And we're doing it, I should say, not to be flip, we are doing this because it is an important news story, particularly on the eve of the important date on the calendar tomorrow, which is the DOJ is, by law, supposed to release the Epstein files. So what we are seeing is perhaps, yes, sort of examples or illustration of some of what we're going to see, much of which might not have the context in and around them. That it's exactly what we're getting today.
Yeah, that's right. And, you know, it's not as though there is some public rollout plan that we've gotten from the Justice Department about how tomorrow might go if these files end up being released tomorrow to begin with. But we do generally expect that whenever these files are released by the Justice Department...
Okay, everyone, happy Thursday.
...in scope than anything else that we have seen so far. I mean, we are talking about years and years of information that the DOJ might have access to, but we don't know, for example, Dana, what kinds of redactions are being made. You know, I've spoken to Epstein survivors who have said they've not been contacted in any way by the DOJ. Lawyers for them have said, you know, some of us have been contacted, others have not, to discuss redactions. And then I think we should be just taking a real effort to make sure the conversation is being brought back to the survivors. You know, some of them have told me that the slow-rolling nature of these disclosures have been incredibly triggering because they don't know when these images might suddenly pop up on their TV screens or on the internet. And some of these images, when they see them, sort of bring them back to the moments that they experience this kind of trauma and abuse from Jeffrey Epstein and perhaps others around him.
Yeah, very, very important note there, MJ. Thank you so much. Appreciate your reporting. And my smart panel is back here. David Talion.
Well, I keep thinking as I'm listening to this and looking at this.
All right, chat. We finna move on, man. We finna move on, man. Let's see what the hell Candace was talking about with the Erica Kirk and the damn military planes, man. Before we get out of here, chat, I do gotta handle some business today, man. I'm still in the middle of this remodel, just to give y'all a look, you know what I mean, the insight. Still in the middle of this remodel, and it's a couple of things I gotta do. I gotta do some demo out back, tear down the storage building, tear down the fence, and I gotta get a new fence put up. I gotta get my vanity still put in. I gotta get the vanity put in the bathroom still, in one of the bathrooms. And some other miscellaneous shit. I still gotta paint too. Painting is a big deal too, man. I don't really want to paint, but I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, everyone, happy Thursday. I have to tell you that I was laughing so much yesterday because I received a flood of emails from law enforcement officers, military guys that were just like, no way, absolutely not. That's where I draw the line. The bomb dogs missed the gun. Apparently, for people who work with bomb dogs, this is more of an offense to their intelligence than the Man of Steel neck. Like, it was just a bridge too far. This is where they are drawing a line in terms of Fed slop. Anyway, we have another unbelievable episode for you guys here today. I thought long and hard about whether to bring on the eyewitness from Fort Huachuca. And I think when we speak to him today and he gives you his testimony, you will, of course, understand why. I am always honored to have any person that serves in our military, especially honored to have him, given all that he has lived through, despite the firestorm that I know that both he and I are about to endure. Welcome back to Candace. That is all over the seats and all over the floor. I was like, oh, maybe like someone broke a window or something, and then I sort of put it out of my mind. And particularly, I noticed a lot of it spread across that back seat rear floor. So I'm going to show you that, just a couple of photos of that close up so that you can see it. What that looks like, because it was just kind of a compelling thing that he noticed something that I noticed, and you can see it was unusual. I think in this person's mind, the line that they were going down, I guess the line of questioning that they were going down in their own mind was, is this evidence that something broke on Charlie? Could something have been rigged? And I want to say that we can't necessarily extrapolate that from what we're looking at. It could be 1,000 other things. Somebody could have actually broken a phone in there. Somebody could have had something in there. It could be broken hard candy. I mean, there's a lot going on. And but I did want to address that because it was interesting that he noted it and asked if we saw little black bits. And I do. That is visually what I see. I am hesitant, by the way, to put up the rest of the photos. Kind of still going through that. I want to be slow on that because obviously, I don't want the federal officers, the good guys that are in there who have assisted in this, to be rumbled, right? I don't want people, cash to go on a hunt and figure out who gave us what and people to start getting fired. We need to have the white knights in government. So I just need some time to think about that. And anyways, what we can do, however, and what we're starting to formulate now are just addressing these data points, right? These mysterious circumstances, these things that don't necessarily make sense. What do we...
Excuse me. Y'all see how Camila just subtly stated that she has federal whistleblowers and shit? Like she has somebody inside the feds, how she just subtly dropped that? Like,
we actually know about that day. And what's really interesting for me is when I review these data points, I can't fathom how there are people out there right now trying to convince you that there is overwhelming evidence that Tyler Robinson committed this crime. There's no evidence outside of these shady messages that are not even time-stamped. We don't have a confession from him. We have nothing. Okay, so these are just some data points for you to remember as we go through this.
Gerald said, do y'all research, do y'all homework.
Confirmed or even suggested that Charlie was shot with a 30-06 or that Charlie had a steel neck that stopped that bullet. Rather, he suggested throughout the course of a conversation that maybe...
Man, this is what I'm trying to see.
Finance company. You have throw her objectives and instead chose to confide in me. Students who will corroborate this type of training / Candace. I say other than the fact that I do just feel on a spiritual level that we have been infiltrated. I'll ask a broader question. Are all of our lives a bit like the Truman Show? Do we have a set...
Hey, is that a pirate, man, or is that like a silk press, man? What Candace got, man? A good flat iron, man. That's one of them good flat irons right there, huh, chat? Oh no. Might not be no pirate. Might just be a real good flat iron.
A cast of characters who are performing and pretending, and this is what kind of made everybody go crazy after the Turning Point USA event where Tucker asked the question, where does this guy's money come from? I mean, obviously Barry Weiss is one of these actors. This is clearly an act. You obviously are not intelligent. You obviously are not some journalist that worked their way up and broke some important stories. You are obviously an intelligence op. Intelligent op. Like, are we living in the Truman Show? Are we all going to work thinking that we can climb a ladder when in reality these people are just selected and given certain they're supposed to be certain characters? You're supposed to pretend like you're the head of a tech company and you're supposed to be super weird and quirky. I'm going to cast you into that role, and then we're going to call you a genius, and you're supposed to pretend that you're this super...
Yeah, I don't think Tyler Robinson is the shooter either. I don't think Tyler Robinson is a shooter either.
Financial guru like Jeffrey Epstein, and we're going to put you finance company. You have no background in this. That's kind of the theme that I'm seeing. Anyways, I don't want to waste too much more time because I do want to bring on Mitch, who apparently has what I would describe as, I don't know if it's the best or the worst luck ever in life, stumbling upon the feds when they're maybe up to no good. Mitch, welcome to my podcast. It's so great to have you here.
It's wonderful to be here, Candace. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. I obviously, you know the story of how I instantly got the email from one of your friends that just said, you should call Mitch, after I prayed and said, I'm missing a piece of this, please, God, give me a piece of the story. And the first email I see when I get back from church on a day of holy obligation is this email. And so, Mitch, my audience is up to date on what happened to you when you were 20 years old. And I'm wondering if you can just sort of briefly recap in case I got some things wrong.
Oh, wow. Briefly recap 35 years. Sure. Yeah, we were part of a mission going down to the border with JTF 6, assigned from 10th Mountain. Previously, there had been a Marine Corps unit there. Apparently, they had an incident. We had to replace them. They wanted a less kinetic unit to be involved. So, down there in a matter of a few days, I'm the youngest guy on the team, and for the first few days, I got assigned to have to hard work of putting in the sensors and following one of the border patrol who was on horseback. Got to learn a little bit about picking up signs in the desert, stuff like that, while we were placing these sensors down. It took a few days. We put in like 80 sensors or so along the border, and we were getting they thought it was some glitch signals coming back. That I had just gone through the course. I had the most updated information, and what we realized is they weren't glitch signals that these people were being sent out for. It was subterranean. And
what's up, Blackish?
When I got pulled back to the JTF 6 headquarters, we were in discussions of trying to remove the Army. Your viewers don't understand. Units get put together.
Damn, I don't even see Blackish in here. Where the hell is Blackish Clay? Where the hell is Blackish? I don't even see him in here. Yeah.
Like this, especially this mission, there's a lot of contention even to this day between the Army and Border Patrol and who gets to take credit and who gets to stay, who gets to go. And back then, Border Patrol, I think they just wanted us out of their hair. So they were having some sort of a big meeting, a big do not disturb meeting, and assigned to the skeleton crew to sit back on the SMS, the receiver. And I was looking at the data while the skeleton crew of the Border Patrol was left there with me as well. He was giving me a bad time about the Army equipment and how they were being sent out for a reason. He kept giving me a bad time about it, so we were looking at the data and we started discussing things, and I brought up the fact that, I asked if there was any subways or something like that around, and between the two of us, the light bulb went on that it was an underground tunnel. And within minutes, we could triangulate the signals and be able to pinpoint the location. And that's the information I got to hand off. So no, I didn't, go on the raid itself. Handing that information off was the probable cause they needed to be able to go get a warrant, go to the location, so communicate with the Mexican authorities on the other side to perform a raid, and that's what happened.
Now, you're thinking, amazing, we have found the biggest cartel tunnel. There had never been one bigger previously discovered, I presume. Maybe there had been. I don't know, I'm going to become a hero, maybe you're thinking. This is going to be great. And the exact opposite thing is true, and it's because they eventually find pictures of, was it an American lieutenant colonel? Who exactly? Sorry, I know you told me this. Was it a colonel?
One of the commanders that was with the Border Patrol was actually posed with a photo that was found on the Mexican side after the tunnel apparently had been built, along with other Mexican military and U.S. military. So there had been some collaboration. Prior to us getting there, there had been a lot of suspicion that the federal government knew that 80%, I think it was 60 to 80% of the cocaine was coming through the Douglas, Arizona area. And that's basically Region 6, or that's why they called it JTF 6. So they knew all the cocaine is coming through this one area. But the local authorities back then, came up with shrugs like, oh, we just don't see where it's coming from. So they suspected there was some compromise of officials down there. So yeah, we to work, and it didn't take us long to pinpoint this. When they recovered that data and they recovered the photos, obviously they had some of the top names of who was helping out on the U.S. side to build the tunnel and also keep it functioning for at least 6 months, judging by the data on the photo.
So I just wanted to ask you, your attachment to, because I'm trying to figure out.
Man, y'all know how much cocaine they push through that damn tunnel, man. If they let that tunnel wide open for 6 months, yeah, a lot of dope came through there, man.
Why you're going to then go back to Fort Huachuca? Is that where you were initially trained?
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
Okay, so you were initially trained at Fort Huachuca. What then ends up happening is they put you're not allowed to talk. You just get gagged for, was it 25 years the gag order lasted? While they destroyed every layer of your life, fed your name to the cartels, you've been on the run, you've had to change your name. Your family is now in debt, you've been fighting lawsuits, trying to get the government to, I guess, defend you against the cartel gangs. And clearly they're angry because you stepped on their toes, it looks like. I think that's a fair depiction of what happened here, which we are learning more and more how corrupt and I think the CIA was created to traffic, to be clear. That's my opinion there. But they effectively destroyed your life and gagged you in the process. Is that a fair assessment of what happened next?
Yeah, it is. I could probably go into some detail that while we were down there, I got the honor of incinerating all the. It was about a ton of cocaine and a bunch of guns, bunch of money. Right afterward, we went right back to work, and I ended up getting approached with a friend at Noka, Arizona. Not a friend, but another Border Patrol agent, and.
So you trying to tell me they burnt up the drugs, the money, and the guns? I don't believe you. Not on all of it. They didn't burn up all of it.
If it wasn't for him, I was too stupid. I didn't understand why this person was coming up or why they had personal information on me. I was a young kid. It was the Border Patrol agent that caught what it was about, and thank God he knew what to do. Took me back to base, and they thought it was, something.
Thank you, John.
To give away my identity. So I was on base for. It was the next day that I got brought into a briefing, and by that time, the photos from the Mexican side had made their way to the American side, and they were able to put together how my information got fed to the other side. As far as cartels and stuff like that, it's just plain corruption at this point. It's thick, and yeah, they have followed me. There's been people come through my windows. And it's not like, I know it's like fantastical stories. We got the court documents. We got the court cases.
You've sent them.
It's not just that we have those. It's that the work that was done to even try to bury those afterward. It's pretty substantial. And yeah, I've got 20 years of this, and one would think that somebody in the federal government would care. Any part of our government would care. The more I've gone up the chain to try and, get more of these records, as well as get answers to this saga, it just seems like I step on more and more toes. And eventually, that's what led me to going down to Fort Huachuca, was just to get the original records and find out why wasn't the FBI updated as to what my status was, and why has this been allowed to, basically use our own laws against me to attack my life? I wanted answers.
When I hear this story, it makes me so angry, because it's just too many people that are serving our country, only to figure out that our country is serving some other, the interests of oligarchs, truly. And I think we're kind of all coming to that moment right now and recognizing that it hasn't been left or right. It has been them, a unique gang of oligarchs and criminals that are running every aspect of our lives, and they would gladly have you die for them, and they couldn't care less. I want to pivot now. So they put you, there's this gag order or non-disclosure agreement, and it is 25 long years, and it happens 35, pardon me, 35 years. You're told, yeah, you can suffer, the cartels can chase you, change your name, but you keep your mouth shut about it. And finally in May here, it expires, right? This gag order expires, and you say to yourself, I am going to go down to that base where I was trained. I'm going to go down to Fort Huachuca, book myself into a hotel. I'm going to go to the criminal division, the investigative division. I'm going to get that original paperwork and get some answers to why I feel that my life has been effectively ruined for me having done what I was ordered to do by the government. So you get to the base, and I want you to address this because there were so many people who were like, there's no way you could have gotten onto the base. Obviously, you sent me your military cards, and I think we can show a picture of that. You get onto the base, and I want you to walk us through what time, and I did show a timeline, but about, you don't have to be perfect here. We already showed a timeline. But, like, you get to the base and just kind of...
Yeah, you got that military ID. Your ass on base. Your ass getting the shop on base. Your ass not... You ain't got to pay no taxes. None of that, man. Your ass got that military ID. Your ass is... They wasn't going to turn him around, man. He got on base. I don't know why people was thinking he wasn't going to get on base.
What's your general mood? And this is on September 8th, the evening of September 8th, at the Candlewood Inn and Suites, which you have given me all of the documentation for.
And getting into Tucson, there was a little bit of a issue getting the rental car and stuff, so that took a little while, a little bit of a delay, but I made reservations ahead of time for me to be there, and I get down to the base. For those that think that people can't get on base, no, typically you can, as long as you have your ID.
Yeah, people think the military base is like just all barracks and shit. Like, no, it's like a damn city. It's like their own section of the city. It's like its own city in itself. Like, you got stores on base, shopping centers, restaurants, you got housing and shit. Like, it's not just like a facility, you know what I'm saying? It's not just like a big facility. Like, nah, man, this is like a whole... Just picture like taking a section of your town, whatever your town you in, just picture like the north side, the whole north side of your town. That would be considered could be considered base. It's like the fences be around it and shit. You just gotta show some access to come over here. It's not like, long as you got some military ID or some shit, you can get on access. You gotta think people work there. There's a lot of people that work on base. There's a lot of people that do contracting. There's people that work like at regular restaurants that are just on base. You know what I'm saying?
Your insurance, and you have a purpose for being there. I certainly did.
Or stores that are just on base.
So you can show that documentation as he's speaking. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So yeah, we made reservations, and I got to the hotel. I had hard to find, but once I found it, I sort of recognized it because it was that was actually the barracks that I had when I was there in AIT training, but they converted it. So yeah, that was pretty cool. All of a sudden, I'm staying in the same barracks. Really nice place, by the way. Wonderful beds. But yeah, I check in, and as I'm doing that, you can tell that there's regular military people, young kids that are there, probably just checking in to post, stuff like that. There were a couple people that stood out, and they're a little bit older, and as I'm checking in, one guy that was sitting on the couch, he just had a sheen to him. Looked like he had a professional military sheen to him. If I had to guess, being a special forces guy, I would have guessed that he's ex-special forces, probably doing something down there, probably contract. He was definitely waiting on something. And
about, just so we can get a description, age.
I'd say 40, give or take. I wasn't there to check out people or check ID cards. I just happen to know him. And veterans, especially SF guys, when you notice somebody like that, I almost had the impression, so much so that I was going to go up and ask him what group he was with and say hi and thank him for his service. I didn't really get that chance. So as I'm checking in and then I go to my room and then come back out, he was joined, and joined by a female that you can definitely tell when, how do you put it, when people are well off, sitting down. She was definitely dressing down. It was very well kept. The the one thing I noticed about the woman that really stuck out to me was her eyes. And I have an ex that has caused me a lot of problems.
Here we go.
So when I see someone with striking blue eyes like that, they stick out. And I was on the phone with my wife here, and I even told her about it. I said, "Oh, geez, somebody has those kind of eyes." Yeah, a little bit, you know, and it had nothing to do with that person. Just, you know, life is what it is. But as I was checking in, they go back and actually talk to that person, the guy, and between me at the front desk and then going back to my room one time and then coming back out, I was going to go to dinner. They had gotten into, there was a vehicle parked out front, big green truck. It looked like a real shiny GSA type. And yeah, they were getting into that vehicle and driving off. And that night I went to dinner at some, a little bit crazy. The people in Sierra Vista, they can probably verify there was a Mexican sushi place in Sierra Vista. So I got dinner and a pretty good place actually. And I came back and went to sleep that night. Got up early the next morning, wanted to see the sunrise, reminisce about, you know, yeah, there we go. Just reminisce about having been there a long time ago. And even stopped to talk to some of the police. They tried to give me directions to ID, but the buildings there are they're sort of old World War II, and they're also built on top of the foundations of like almost Alamo
What's up,
era,
bro?
rocks and stuff, and some of them aren't really well marked. Just sort of led me off on a wild goose chase.
I'll interject here while you're having a sip of water that this is when you accidentally take a video and it's 18 minutes long while this guy's giving you directions, which you've sent everything over. So there's no question you were here and everything happened because you tried to document this thinking you were going to get some justice from the past, and I will let you continue telling the story.
I was there to get help. And I was really figuring some people would have some answers for me. Couldn't find CID, but as I'm wandering around, I finally decided, you know, I need to get some coffee and wake up, maybe have a little breakfast. Notice that there's some signs there that say JTF, and JTF headquarters. I went in a couple of the buildings, there was nobody there yet, so I continued on. I went and got coffee, ran into some 10th Mountain people there. They said they were there for JTF. And we sort of talked. I bought them coffee, I think, for their service. I asked where there would be a headquarters that I could go to speak to someone. They tried to explain it to me. I forget, they gave me a building name, and I don't necessarily we don't want to disclose that kind of stuff, but I went right back to the front gate, and as I came in, as they scanned me in with my ID card, I asked the gate guard there, where would this building be, and how would I get there? He gave me detailed instructions on how to get there, how to wind around to get to that building, so I did, and it was obviously a temporary setup for this new command down there. There was no gate guard. There was, I think they did have some barbed wire around the field and the building, which made me hesitate for a second. But it was a parking lot. Just went in and parked. I was on the phone with my missus here and told her, we'll see how it goes. We'll see what they say here, and I'll call you in a few. I ended up not being able to call her back for about 7 hours. You can, being in the military for a while, It's when there's a lot of high-ranking people around. And you notice when there's a little bit of a buzz. And I walked in there, didn't know if this was just a new type of army that I haven't seen for a while. But I walked up to the front desk. I sort of told him what I wanted. I initially talked to one captain for about 5 minutes, and then he stepped back out. He was going to go get someone. I stood there at the front, and as I did, the guy that I thought was an ex-SF guy, he had walked out from wherever it was, and he was sort of walking out to the front doors, and he stood there for a while waiting. And then 3 more people came around, civilian dressed, and one, he looked like a congressman, had the pin, had the flag, congressman's suit, and there were a couple of people next to him, and obviously they were trying to talk to him, and they were sort of palling around, but it was also sort of serious, and some of the military lieutenant colonels there and the unit sergeant major escorted them out. They got into one of the GSA's. For anybody in the military that knows about GSA, they own everything in the government.
Could you, for those of us who don't know about this GSA, just to break it down for us, I'm sorry to be so ignorant. What does that stand for?
No. What was it? Government Services Administration, or
okay.
I forget what it is.
No worries.
They maintain all the property for the federal government.
Okay.
So if you're in the military or if you're in the federal government and you need a vehicle, basically you go to one of the GSA places, and it's like renting a vehicle at Enterprise or something, but you have orders attached to it. Vehicles there, they're reserved. At any GSA where they have VIPs that come in, for those in the know, they keep a reserve of the vehicles, and they're extra shiny. They're like new off the lot. Their tires aren't worn very well. So they all got into one of those vehicles, and they left. The sergeant major came back in. Him and I was teasing him about his tabs and how he didn't have his long tab, and I think he had a Ranger tab and airborne. Or no, he didn't have airborne. He had air assault. Anyway, I was teasing him about some of that. Was supposed to go back and talk to him. I was finishing signing in when a couple more captains came around the corners, and they escorted me way out. They wanted to take me out of the building. I thought I was getting arrested, and I didn't know what I had done wrong. Give my name, the missions I had been attached to, the purpose why I was there. And I was very polite about it. I was trying to be discreet as possible. And I had no idea what I was walking into. Obviously, when congressmen are around, there's something special going on. But yeah, they escorted me out across the parking lot to the park benches there, and one of the captains there, his name was Captain Neff. Nice guy.
Oh yeah, they got him a hell of a part of there.
My story, what I'm telling you, and what I was there for. That's the guy. Real decent gentleman. As we sat there, the other captain went in, was going to get the sergeant major, and I don't know exactly what happened, but before long, there was a bunch of cruisers pulling up. There were police officers from different levels of the government. I couldn't tell you all the different types of law enforcement that were there surrounding me, and sort of putting up a wall between me and the front door. I did catch that there was yet another, I don't know if it was the same GSA vehicle returning or a different one, but that did pull up to the building. I couldn't see who got in it. It ended up sort of a big deal. They kept interrogating me, trying to gaslight me, ask me if I what I was there for, like I was some sort of a spy. And then they mentioned a bomb threat. They wanted to check my vehicle. I mentioned that because I was in special forces, obviously I must be some sort of a bomb threat. And for me, I just figured that'd be some sort of the false flagging that I've encountered from before. Some sort of residual effect from that.
Thinking, this has got something to do. This has been 35 years running. The government's corrupt. It's all about me finding this cartel tunnel, and this is just going to be the story of my life, never getting any justice. That's what's going through your mind.
At this point, yeah, people in the government start pointing guns at me. My house has been swatted and stuff like that. I just roll my eyes. I literally...
Sorry.
I was just throwing my car keys out. They wanted my car keys. I chucked it over. I said, yeah, if you don't mind, park it closer because my bones are getting old and it hurts. I don't want to walk that far.
So sad.
So Captain Neff was really nice. And I asked him what this was about. He tried to shrug it off and say he didn't know. There was another lady that seemed to be conducting what this overreaction was. And she was definitely, she was in plain clothes, undercover, big sunglasses, Hispanic woman. If I had to guess, probably Secret Service or something like that. She didn't want to approach me directly. She was directing how other people would approach me and ask me questions, get my documents, stuff like that. Eventually, they said, okay, we're going to take you to another location. They took me to, they finally showed me where the CID building was, I guess. Put me in there, and they recorded me for a while. Asked me a few questions, and they were very concerned about the next 24 hours. Like, they wanted to make sure, I don't know, maybe that I wasn't there for some other purpose or related to something. It was pretty odd. They didn't answer any of the questions I was there for. They didn't give me the documentation they wanted. They did give me a report number to go ahead and you went ahead and I gave that to you.
You did.
We'll see what that says. But yeah, they were looking for any excuse to up for like 24 hours. And that 24-hour number kept getting repeated by them. And then eventually, they didn't have anything to hold me. I wasn't a harm to myself or others. I wasn't there to, spy on anybody. Wanted to get records and get out of that desert. Reminiscent as it was, the place creeps me out a little bit. So, yeah, once they said you have to stay out base for 24 hours, don't worry about it, I ain't coming back. Got to Tucson, stayed the night there in a hotel. Never got a refund on my Candlewood Suites. Yeah, got on the plane, and before we touched down, I had a stop off in Salt Lake City. By the time we wheeled down, we got the news about Charlie Kirk. And of course, that's been just all over the news. Everybody's watching it, and I don't think anybody's believing federal government saying about it for sure. But what I noticed, all these people from TPUSA, never been associated. I could recognize Charlie Kirk probably. But started seeing come across and got more familiar once I saw a picture of somebody in a ponytail with those eyes. That was that person. They were there. And security there, he was one of the people walking out with the congressman. Now, when I know that I just have a gift for recognizing people, and maybe it's not him. Maybe he has doppelganger, but the same mannerisms, the same crick in his neck, the waxy look on his face, hand gestures, shoulder shrug, approximate height, haircut, definitely walked past me. And in
If
the
you had to
hotel,
put it at a percentage that you were looking at Brian Harpole, maybe he's got a brother in the military, who knows, right? Maybe he does have a doppelganger, he's got a twin brother, who knows? I want to be clear, I can confirm past life, every step of your story in terms of where you went, what time you were there, that there was this big meeting that happened. I confirmed a location with other people that are on Fort Huachuca currently. I can confirm everything with metadata. I obviously can't confirm that you saw who you say you saw. If you had to put it at a percentage that you saw Brian Harpole, how much would you put it at?
5%.
Okay.
95 to 99. I mean, when I saw him, on the interview with his face and gestures, with that photo, it struck me in my gut. I blew it off until there was, some other pictures that came up with other people.
What other people? Pictures?
If you want me to say it, there's a picture of Erica Kirk with a ponytail, and from her past. That person matches who I saw at Fort Huachuca in the lobby the night before, and she was with that man in the lobby, and that man, he was present at that meeting the next morning.
If
So
you had to put it at a percentage that you saw that the girl in the ponytail matches the description of Erica Kirk, what percentage would you put that at?
the rare eyes. That's 95 to 99%. I can't imagine somebody else.
Okay, so what I'm going to say, because obviously that's very explosive, and it's one of the reasons why I wasn't sure if I wanted to have you on. I'm going to be honest with you, because I guess I'll tell you the conflict that I had, and just be just as honest with you as you are being with me. The first thing was, I can't confirm it, right? I can confirm where you were, I can do all of that, but I can't confirm what you think you saw. I don't know you. I don't know. There are people like my husband who we can see someone once and he recognizes that person 10 years later exactly where we saw them, and there are people like me, and I kind of have facial blindness until I meet someone 3 times. The second thing was, I didn't want people to wrongly extrapolate things and say, okay, well, maybe she was on the base. Maybe there's a chance she wasn't on the base, right? That she has a doppelganger. People do have doppelgangers. I have doppelgangers, right? Well, let's say she was on the base. Let's say you're right, and you saw her. This is the night before. This is on the 8th. Maybe she was in the hotel, but maybe she was there for a different reason. Maybe she was there because she's always been open about the fact that her mother moved to Arizona because she got involved with the military. So that could be totally unrelated to the meeting that took place on the 9th. And I didn't want to, but then I said to myself, this man has lived through so much. You know what I mean? This man has lived through so much, and I would be turning my back on this, really a hero for discovering the cartels, who's lived through so much and has been treated like the government. And then I struggled with my own soul going, I'm turning my back on him because I'm afraid of backlash for allowing him to tell the truth. And my soul was in conflict. I decided that, you know what, this is not my platform, okay? I genuinely believe this is God's platform. I am a conduit. I don't know why I have a platform. And I don't know why you have this luck in life. I really don't. I don't know why these things happen to you or why they happen to me. But I know that my prayer was very intentional that night, that I received that email. So I'm going to allow the internet to hear your testimony, hear what you think. And I also want to show them a picture, because we did look through some congressmen, and I didn't tell you where they were congressmen from, but there is one that you thought looked familiar, and I am going to show that picture of him now. This is, and Skylar, someone's got to get in my ear because I'm blanking on his name. Mark Amodi. Is that right? Mark Amodi from Las Vegas, and you thought that this could potentially be the congressman that you saw on the 9th?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's
what
the one that walked closest to me.
That's the one that walked closest to you?
That's 95. I'm absolutely, after I've looked at it, yeah, that was definitely the guy.
Now, we have then been able to look at flights and look at who could have been at that meeting. We were able to confirm, based on a call sign, that there was somebody heavy duty that was at Fort Huachuca on that morning, who made sure to turn off their transponder. So the picture is coming together, that you saw what you saw, then that call sign did change at a certain time, which lets us know that then it could have been moved to a congressman. There could be a chance that that person they were blocking you from seeing when they all lined up might have been someone that is, it could be Kash Patel. I mean, it could be Kash Patel. That's someone who could have a call sign. We've been running ideas. It could also not be him. And I want to be clear. I do think you saw, I think that is the reason they surrounded you, was to make sure you couldn't see who was walking out. I think your instincts are right on that. And I don't know what to say other than I know what you are going to go through now. And I want you to know that you have an ally with me, and I know how much you are already going through fighting them, and I intend to help you raise money to go through these lawsuits with the federal government. I know this is not easy. I know what your kid has been through. I know what your wife has been through, and no one should have to go through this because they told the truth and potentially stumbled upon something corrupt, did definitively stumble upon something corrupt, and I think the public will be with you because they see what I'm going through right now, being sued by a transatlantic president overseas for just trying to tell the truth. And I just want you to know that. I know that this is hard for you, and given everything you've been through, but I am here with you. I'm going to fundraise money for you, and I'm here for you and your family through whatever comes next.
Oh boy, that's really wonderful. And I've told you, thank you. See justice. I'd like to see our government being honest again, or some level. I don't know why I was there, or why I got to see what I did, or how I happened to walk in on something. I wasn't there to, obviously I didn't know what was going to happen in the next 24 hours. It seems coincidental that was the number they kept bringing up, and they were doing important, and they didn't want anybody looking at it. And okay, the military does that stuff. That's what they do. For everything, but really, after hearing some of the other stuff, hearing about some of the threats against you, and I watch some of the other podcasters, Valhalla, really good guy, even if he gave me a bunch of crap about stuff. Fellow brother there from First Group. No, he had when he interviewed the French Foreign Legion, he got to learn a little bit about sometimes how in the intelligence world how things cross over, and other countries are a little bit dirtier and they borrow resources from us. Fort Huachuca is one of those places they would have to have done that. I had to pray myself and beyond. I just wanted to give you a tip, since you're pulling on these threads, and I had no idea that you were going to do all this.
I want you to know there were literally 51,000 emails unanswered in that box. Okay. And I went to church, and I prayed, and I said, "Give me something." And it was the first email, just like I said to you. I mean, what did I call 4 minutes after the email was sent? And it was actually me. I didn't send it to my producer. I was just like, "Hey, maybe this is it." And I can't help but to see God in that, and not, God, as in people being trained in intelligence to make us think that everything is holy, but rather truly I saw God in that. And it's stunning. It's hard not to see God in something like that happening in that order. So what comes next? I just want you to know that you have an ally in me, and I hope you see that I am a fighter. And when I see good people and bad things happen to them, I will fight. And same for the people that watch this podcast. They are fighters as well. So, and they've had my back, and they will have your back. I promise you that.
I really appreciate that. There are a lot of people in the military who, you see things. I'm sure there's people down in Fort Huachuca and other places that have seen things, and a lot of people that stay quiet, to stay nice to conflict, and I had to pray. This doesn't help my situation at all. It's going to aggravate it, I'm absolutely sure. And it matters. And
so you could tell by his body language.
That's why we wanted to send this up to you. We had no idea. All of a sudden you'd be calling us. You really interrupted our gym time, by the way, and we really need it. Typically, I try to laugh things off quite a bit, but things are getting quite serious. And I think Baron Coleman, he gets it.
Real talk.
People on those threads. I hope you stay safe.
You and like I said, I'm going to put together a fundraiser for you, imminently. So this is obviously it's just the first conversation we're having. I just want to thank you.
I ain't gonna lie, she might have to cap that bad boy. 35 years on the run, chat. A Candace Owens sponsored fundraiser. He might hit for $500,000. He might hit for $1 million or $2 million. $500,000.
Heart, not just for sharing what happened, and I do believe you are a missing piece of this. I also want to thank you for your service. I want to thank you for trying to do what our government should be doing, which is stopping the cartels and not partnering with them. And so, just thank you for your military service and all that you've gone through.
Thank you, Ms. Owens. Thank you, Candace.
Thank you. We will be.
Amy says thank you also.
Thank you, guys. We will be right back, you guys. I'm going to let Mitch sign off here, and then I will answer some of your questions after some sponsors. Guys, the Fed dropped rates for the 4th time this year, and if you're a homeowner, you should call American Financing today, because you could be saving real money every month. High interest debt is crushing budgets across the country, but homeowners who act now are using their equity to wipe it out. American Financing customers are saving an average of $800. Well, you guys, this is normally the part of the show where I push things that I am selling on the website, but what I'm going to say to you instead is that I will get together a Give, Send, Go for Mitch and his family, like I said.
Bree, that guy right there was a whistleblower. He said he was part of a team that triangulated underground tunnels in Arizona that were responsible for about 80% of the cocaine coming through. And he said they went in there, and he didn't go in there, but he's part of the team that triangulated the data and passed the data off to give the warrant for them to go take down that underground tunnel and that network. And he said ever since that happened, he's been blackballed. They've done everything. The cartels had hits out on him. He had to change and move and do all of this shit. And they had a gag order on him to where he couldn't talk about it for 35 years. So they just released the gag order earlier this year. And he says the day before Charlie Kirk's assassination, he was going somewhere and allegedly he saw Erica Kirk and some military people, man.
Legal paperwork. They've endured hell. They've endured hell. And he's been enduring that hell because he did his job. It sickens me. Our government sickens me. People telling me that I need to worry about midterms when there's just so much corruption that is happening, and good men that are being persecuted while bad men are being protected. So I wanted to just basically say that if you look on my socials, I'll make sure that I get a fundraiser out for Mitch and his family, and hopefully we can help them with some of the legal costs that they have endured. Curbster writes, "We stand behind you, Mitch, and your family just as much as we stand behind." Oh, we stand behind you, Mitch, and your family just as much as we stand behind Candace. Thank you for your service and continued bravery and resolve despite our government not doing the same for you. May God continue to protect you and use you to reveal the truth. I'm sure that's going to make them cry. I know that they were in tears from all the messages of support that they got the first time around when I just shared their story. Madeline writes, "Thank you, Candace, for keeping me sane these last 100 or so days. I still cannot believe that Charlie is not among us, but thank you for trying to find who really did this to him and for helping us all get through it." Like I said, this.
Oh yeah, Bree, we talked about the Brown University shooter too. This dude, they trying to tell us that the guy from Brown University, the Portuguese man, was spotted on campus and questioned. Then he goes on to shoot up 10 people, unalive 2, gets away. Then he actually unalived the MIT professor a few days later. They ended up knowing each other and went to school with each other, studied in the same program in a whole nother country. So this guy takes out the professor that's working on free fusion energy or whatever a few days after he shoots up the school. Then they find him in a damn storage unit with his brains blew out in New Hampshire. Whatever the hell they are selling, I am not a buying, Chad. I will pass, man. Y'all can eat that bologna bullshit sandwich if y'all want, but I'll pass, you know. I think I'll pass, man. Shit is crazy.
Like, there's nothing more important than getting to the bottom of this because the implications are so far-reaching. And for me, it is, I don't care about politics anymore. I just don't care. And I do believe that our government was involved in this. Our government is involved in the cover-up. And the people that would have to okay that would be the very people that Charlie fought for. He fought for them to get into office. Sleepless nights, fighting for those people to be...
Oh, and how they caught him was a tip from Reddit. Somebody posted on a Reddit message board that, hey, they should investigate this Nissan. And that led to the wild goose chase and this guy blowing his brains out in New Hampshire with fake tags on his car. What?
And so, like I
said,
shit
stranger than fiction.
I just don't care about your midterms. I want to know who killed Charlie Kirk, and I want to know why. I want to know why he had to die. Martin Box writes, "Thank you for being my compass throughout the last few months and helping me to gauge right from wrong. Christ is king. Indeed, Christ is king." Bitsy Figurino writes, "I recognize the psychological religious operation going on since Trump was elected. It's been wild to watch. Christ called us to be peacemakers. I would like to help with Preborn. I'm in Arizona, and I'm also an ultrasound tech. They will know us by our love. Please reach out to Preborn. They do fantastic work, and you are right to recognize that. They were also gaslighting us about that, and I was saying, like, there are so many of these people that have very high up military connections who have these platforms, and all they do is they focus on the Bible, and I'm telling you, there's something wrong. There's just something that is wrong, and you can kind of see the mask slip now because these people purport to care about what happened to Charlie, and the easiest thing is to demand truth, and instead they're protecting people like Josh Hammer. It's just like such an obviously bad person. He lied, and they'll go out of their way to protect those individuals. That's a psychological operation. That's not the truth, and it's actually in many ways the most sadistic of all psychological operations, because what they're doing is they are asserting themselves as we are the most literate in Scripture, so we can tell you whether or not your soul is going to be condemned if you listen to this person or you don't listen to this person. It makes me sick. Like I said, I hold the most contempt for those that hold up the Bible as they criticize people, knowing fully well that they could care less about what's in the Bible, and they just want to take swipes and attack somebody and feel justified in doing it. It's so arrogant. And I think it's also tremendously evil, because there are people that follow you, and they are true Christians. Namari Valamar writes, those who have been watching every single episode would not abandon ship. Do not lose hope, but place your trusts in Christ alone. The Holy Spirit will bring discernment. That is true. This has been a story of we all have spiritual discernment, right? We are feeling things on a spiritual level, and we are having people that think they can replace our spirit with garbage and just like, well, not just keep saying Tyler Robinson, we'll just keep saying the evidence is overwhelming, and we'll somehow hijack the spirit. And this time we're saying no. Ivan writes, the more haters, the more we know that you are on track. Go, Max, Candace. Again, guys, I'm going to jump off because we are over time here, but you will be hearing more from me on my socials. I will put up a Give, Send, Go for Mitch and his family. We will obviously be giving in a big capacity, and I hope that you guys will join me in doing that. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Damn, chat. Oh, man. All right, chat. New Hampshire guy ended up not being the right guy. They caught two people who weren't the shooters, one at the hotel and someone else, but it's all BS. No, John, they said they found them dead. When did they say the New Hampshire guy ended up not being the right guy? They just said they found them dead. We just watched the press conference, man. What are you talking about? Johnny. Tons of cameras. Yeah, they do have tons of cameras. Well, all right, chat, man. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me, man. We're going to get up out of here. I'll see y'all later. Oh, man, y'all be on the lookout, man, for some videos and shorts and shit. I'll see y'all later, chat. Everybody enjoy the rest of their day.